also considering that a lot of us have also been ostracized from our Caribbean families, which has also made it hard for a lot of us to connect to our Caribbean ancestry. Like, you know what I mean? There's that disconnect. Like, I've been abandoned by my family that is Caribbean, or let's say my family Trinidadian. The connection that I have with Trinidad is much less because of that, and so many people experience that too. So like Caribana, I know that for myself, as well as so many other queer people, they want to be involved. They want to feel like this is the one thing that I know is like for sure Caribbean, and I know that I could participate in this and feel like I'm celebrating that. They're hesitant because of those things, the homophobia, that like people might not even think they're homophobic, but then as soon as you're around somebody who might be queer, it comes out, babe.
So I'm here today with Rah.
Yes.
Rah was my makeup artist when I did the Dame Lorraine and Sugarcane shoot for the magazine that they had. So Rah is a multidisciplinary artist and content creator that is best known for her self-taught imaginative artistry that intends to disrupt how beauty is perceived and celebrated within our communities by emphasizing Black, queer, and people of color through the art of makeup. Period. Rah has Bermudian and Canadian roots on her mother's side from the Underground Railroad. Yes. And on her father's side, Trinidadian roots.
Period.
So thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited.
I'm giddy right now. I'm literally giddy.
Okay, so you're probably the first person that I've met that knows that they have like Underground Railroad roots. So do you know a little bit about the history of that, even if briefly?
Yeah, I know that for my specific family, my great grandfather was an escaped slave from Maryland. And he escaped here, I would say, in the early 1900s or maybe late 1800s. I'm not exactly sure of the year, but I know it was around then. And I believed he settled in Hamilton, and then eventually the family made their way to Toronto in more recent years. Yeah. But yeah, it started from what we know, as far as back as we know, is it started from two brothers that escaped, and one stayed in Maryland, and then one came to Canada and started my family.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
yeah, honestly,
it's really cool.
You're literally the first person that I remember when I was younger, I would read books on like the Underground Railroad and stuff, but like normally we don't see people, I guess, who like know they have those roots. And especially in terms of like my community and people that I know, it's usually just like you said, it's people from the Caribbean.
Right.
So it's cool to hear that side. So how would you say that, you know, the West Indian or Caribbean roots informed your work as a makeup artist, if at all?
I feel like they informed it like probably for the most of any inspiration, at least starting out, especially because I'm like best known for a lot of like gem work that I do and the creative looks that I do. And all of those really were started with Caribana and having to do makeup for people for mass. And like just being inspired by like the colors, the costumes, and having to match makeup looks to costumes that way they're complementing each other. It's not like taking full force when you're looking at it. Kind of looks like a puzzle piece, like it just fits into whatever. So yeah, just the fact that I had to start with doing gems there, I was just like, well, I want to do gems like every day. I want to figure out a reason to do gems. So even if it was like a soft glam, I would start doing it. And that's how it kind of started with the makeup and doing creative makeup and kind of being attracted to that.
So when it comes to actually doing makeup for, let's say, Carnival, what are some maybe tips that you have for people? Because for me, I don't really do my makeup like that. Like I maybe mascara, lip gloss. But if I wanted to do something where I'm like, oh, let me fit this right for my costume. Like what are some things that you look at in the costume or like what are some tips?
Okay, well, for me, one thing that I do is like, let's say there's like 3 colors on a costume. Whichever color is least seen, I want that color to be most seen on the face, so that it can kind of complement the little parts of the outfit. Like maybe your whole costume is pink, like doing a pink face might be like way too much. Okay. But there might be like a little blue in the costume. Maybe we're going to do some blue with the pink or something like that. Not doing too much complexion. Like you're going to be sweating, going crazy, like having the best fun. You don't want to worry about having to touch up your face and, oh my gosh, if there's oil. Like you want to do something that is obviously dramatic and creative and fun, but not something that you're going to have to worry about the maintenance throughout. you're having fun outside.
Yeah, because this year I was definitely seeing some people doing some touch-ups. I was like, damn.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm walking my waist. I don't have time to touch up my face.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
I didn't even mean to rhyme. Bars.
Yeah, bars. So, no, but that's what I'm saying. When I see people doing touch-ups, I'm like, okay, like, do your thing, make sure you look cute. But I'm like, that's not... my motto was always like, we came here to free up. So just free up yourself.
Right, true. Mind you, some people's free up is that, right? Yes. So it's just like, for some people, they want that. And honestly, the clients that come to me get their face beat. So it's like, I have to also think about what am I going to do to make sure that they could stay as long as they can in this? Because this is my clients don't come to me for no small little thing. Like, it's layers of makeup, so I have to make sure you have a proper setting spray. Shout out to One Size by Patrick Ta. Also, there's one called Cryolan. It's like more pro spray, but those two are like really good for keeping through sweat, heat, all those things. Like, considering all of those things will make a difference in like your experience with your makeup the day of Caribana or Mass. For makeup, it's just like I feel like with Caribana I just focus more on like pronouncing the eyes, pronouncing the lips, pronouncing the cheeks. Not so much focused on like coverage, but more so focused on definition and dimension of the face. Okay. So like sometimes you don't even realize, but like once you do things like cheeks, eyes, lips, and you put all those things together nicely, your complexion won't even matter to you too much. You know what I mean? Like, even if you have like pimples on your cheeks, girl, put some blush on that. Call it a day. Those pimples are beauty marks today. Put a black dot. Put a black dot. We're not worrying about it. We don't have time for that. Yeah. Don't stress it. It's a thing now. Cool. You have pimples. They are freckles. Yeah. Hello? I hear that. So those are the things that I do for myself, like that. So if you're doing something for yourself, that's what I would say. Obviously, if you're going to a makeup artist or myself, like I'm going to make sure that you're going to stay on for as long as possible. And I'm going to give you like a touch-up kit so that, if you're on the road and you're sweating and you want to touch yourself up, you can. But like realistically, sometimes there's only so much touch-ups you can do for a sweated out face. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't for people.
Just get all the pics in the beginning.
Get all the pics in the beginning, my girl. Even bring a makeup wipe, like
to wipe it off.
To wipe it off, because who knows? Like, I've seen girls like, let's say you don't have the means to have all of these setting sprays and setting powders to make sure that you're setting properly. Maybe at the end of the mask, your makeup's going crazy. You know what I mean? You don't be walking up the street and your makeup's looking wild. Oh no! Just get a makeup wipe, quick.
Just take it.
Just
off.
Quickly take it off. Just take it. Do yourself the favor. You could keep your eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things like that. Glitter is a great safe option. Like, nobody's watching your complexion when you got glitter on your skin. Make sure your skin is hydrated. Make sure your skincare is done. Like, if your skin is great, you're not going to have to worry too much about having to cover it up for mass or any day, really.
So you're talking about setting spray and all these things that I personally don't have. So what about someone who's like basic level? So focus on the eyes, lips, cheeks.
Focus on the eyes, lips, cheeks. And like the thing is with makeup, like, when you have like those teachers and you ask them a question and you're like, please give me a simple answer. I'm never going to give a simple answer. So like, because for me, I'm like, I just think of all of the whys I'm doing. Well, like, why am I doing the steps that I'm doing? And like every step is important. And even with like eyes or lips, there's like a prep that goes before or that needs to go before. Like, for example, when I'm doing faces, I'll do a lip mask before I put a lipstick on or put a lip gloss on. Because what are we doing when you have chapped lips under that gloss? Because I can see it. We need to get the dead skin off, babe. You know what I mean? Like, it's gotta go. So it's like things like that, or like making sure there's an eye primer before your eyeshadow so that your eyeshadow's staying the whole day, or making sure that you're putting a brow gel on your brows so that your brows are not moving down, or making sure you're using a primer to make sure that your face is not gonna sweat off. Like, all of these things, or even just thinking about what are the ingredients in my skincare versus my makeup so that they don't clash.
Oh, wow.
Like, those are things that people don't think about, and it would make makeup applications go a lot quicker. But honestly, I do simple makeup for myself. Like, I will choose one product and that will be my eyes, my lips, my cheek. call it a day. Bye.
Yeah.
I mean, today I didn't wear anything except for like a lip liner, which actually is Inkbox.
So before we started recording, you were telling me a little bit about just kind of like your family's understanding of the parade and like what it used to be. I feel like this is just kind of like a similar, I don't know if the word would be like point of contention. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like there's a big division between people who say keep the stormers out and people who say no, we need to figure out a way to allow them to be a part of the parade.
100%. Like I haven't been a mask goer in a while. But I did play mass once, really, in 2012 and as a kid.
It's because she's always busy doing faces.
I'm doing the faces, but my clients play mass, so I hear the tings. My family is Trinidadian, so I hear the tings. So, and like, you know, both my parents grew up in Toronto, and they've been going since they were kids as well. Like, I think my mom's first time going was 16. I'm sure my dad was going around that time or maybe even earlier with his Trinidadian self. So, what's it called? From the stories that I've heard, and mind you, like I can definitely be corrected because I was not there.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, the stormer argument is like something that is it seems to be specifically here that this issue is. Mind you, I could be wrong. Maybe in the islands it could be this way, but from what I'm hearing, this is like a Toronto Carnival problem. And no shade to Toronto Carnival. I just mean literally the carnival.
Keep booking me. Keep booking me.
Yeah. Like this is the mass that takes place in Toronto. This is like specifically for that I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And I remember my mom was telling me like she was so upset about the whole stormer argument because she was saying before there wasn't this division of like putting up fences and having people not able to participate even if they don't have costumes on, because it's also just like, okay, what communities is this for and what kind of people fall into these communities? A lot of people within our communities don't have money to pay for the big costumes, don't have money to participate, but are they not allowed to be included in this celebration of their emancipation? And so that kind of is her argument, saying that it didn't used to be like this. I'm not sure if there was a division or what type of division, but it's definitely different than it used to be. And essentially, she just doesn't think that it's fair because a lot of the people that are stormers are people from these communities that we're celebrating. So, that's what I was hearing. And I heard in the last conversation you were having kind of touched on that as well. Because I'm not sure, like, have you played in Grenada as well? Yeah, what was it like? Not me interviewing you. But what was it? What was it like?
I'm glad to answer.
Yeah.
So in Grenada, early in the day, it's just the masqueraders, pretty much. But as the nighttime comes,
that's when everybody
locals and everybody's in the band, and you're just playing mass, and it's fun.
See, that's
and that's something. And there was a large discussion happening in the comments under that post that I had with Candace. Shout out to Candace. But people were saying that the difference between the stormers here and the participants in the Caribbean is that they're more aggressive here and entitled here, and they feel like, yo, move your feathers in my face, you know what I mean? And it's kind of, I guess that attitude is different. And I think that also has to do with like education. Again, like Candace was saying, it's like, yo, the more that we start to, and that's why I'm glad to be able to have this podcast, to just have conversations, because I'm starting to see how people have been ready to talk.
They've been begging.
I'm like, when I see the comments, I'm like this.
No, but that's amazing.
I don't even reply. I just read. I'm like,
keep coming back for more.
I'm not liking. I'm just preying. I'm like, wow, we actually needed to have these conversations.
Absolutely.
One thing that somebody commented in that same video is they were like, and she is a masquerader, but what she's saying is that the fences are dangerous because the stormers pushed down the fences and it almost fell on her. Bro, you know how that could be one big lawsuit?
Right.
Or some big problem?
Exactly.
So I'm not saying, yo, I'm anti-fence or I'm pro-stormer or I'm just saying that
there needs
whatever
to be a
the
resolution
solution is, it needs to be something that makes sense for everybody and that ensures safety.
Exactly. And also, like, I don't think that there's one problem. I think that there's multiple ingredients to why this is an issue. I think that people who are masquerading have points. I think that people that are storming have points. Of course, if I've paid hundreds of dollars for my costume,
you know what the solution is?
What?
In my mind,
yeah,
every band needs a t-shirt section. How can I play mass for $50?
Absolutely.
How can I play mass for $100?
Because what does my grandma do every year? She buys a t-shirt with the panyards.
Yeah. Hello? Like, let we go and play with mass.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Even if there's like a rope for like, okay, these are our masqueraders. You guys are going to cross the stage. I think someone was telling
me about a rope. But yeah, I think it would be cool to have some sort of division within the Lakeshore. Like some sort of division that everybody can be walking and going, but it's not as if like, so I basically think there should be some sort of division that will not make people feel like they have to jump in. Mm-hmm. Like some sort of division that makes people feel like I'm still in this, you know?
Like they can watch, their view is not blocked from the parade,
view is not blocked.
But they feel like they're participating like on the sides
and
kind of thing.
Still feel like they're participating, but like, you know in like war, how there's like the one opponent side, and there's just like that section that's like a safe zone.
Okay.
I feel like there should be like a safe zone. If the masqueraders want to come out of the masqueraders side, they should be able to go in that safe zone.
One of the things, and continuing on with the safety conversation, because now that you're talking about safe zone, one of the things that I find as a masquerader with the fences, again, I'm not anti or pro fence or one or the other. I'm just talking what I see.
Yeah.
When it's time for me to come off the parade route, because maybe I need to go to the washroom, maybe I need to go buy some water.
Maybe I need just air.
Yeah, maybe I need to, and it's kind of like, yo, what if something pops off and you need to run? What the fuck are you supposed to do? Yeah. Like, but the fence is blocking up the whole place. There needs to be, and what do? I walk over the knockdown fences to get on the side.
You might get a scratched leg.
But but honestly, the point that the girl made about the fence almost falling down on her is actually very scary to think about.
I feel like there could be some sort of common ground. Like I can see why people may not want stormers because of safety and for these reasons, obviously. But I can also see as a stormer, my damn self, okay, because when I go, I'm damn sure not walking on the other side of the fence. Okay, you could score me all you want, guys. You could score me. I don't care. That I'm going there because even when I was 16, my dad was like, "Yo, get ready, girl. Like it's your time to shine. Like you're Trinidadian. This is in your blood. You're gonna go and you're gonna have fun. This is what we do."
Yeah.
What? Took my little ass to Lakeshore, and I stormed.
No costume.
No costume. And I stormed with my little H&M shorts. What? Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that also like just as on a community level of helping this whole situation, especially when it comes to safety, is like if people like myself or you or anybody who's participating or anyone stormer or masquerader, if you're choosing to be on Lakeshore and to be celebrating our culture, we should also be like, we're at this point, we're all family here. Like, you know, if I see something happening to the person beside me, I'm going to do something to help. I think people need to like make it a thing. Like if I'm going to go there, if I see a girl and she's feeling uncomfortable and I'm, you know, with my friends, I'm going to like, hey, come over here. You know, some girls, obviously some people already do that.
Yeah.
But some people don't. And I think like another thing would just be the fact that if we genuinely looked out for each other on the road, I think that would just be a better experience as a whole too.
The way how I'm seeing the engagement and the paragraphs that people
Give me those paragraphs, babe.
I love it. Give me
those paragraphs. I personally don't even care if it's
almost
negative.
like these things that have been sitting on people's chests for so long and finally they have a place to come and talk about it. And I honestly think the only way for us to progress in terms of our carnival here is for us to have discussions as a community.
That's what we have. Like, guys, we want things to change. We're going to have to talk about it. We're going to have to talk about it. Like,
I'm sorry. The way how you said that was actually hilarious.
Like, what?
No, it's true. We need to have conversations. And even like before being the face of the festival, like I wasn't even too tough, like in the like mass side of things or whatever, right? But I just understood like a little bit about the history and stuff. And I also knew that I wanted to learn more. But as I got on the inside, I started realizing like there's so many like little things that could turn into big issues if we don't actually just like talk about them. And some of these things are big issues, like the stormer problem or whatever. And then there's like so much division of people feeling like they have to. I understand from both sides, and that's why it's hard because it's kind of like, well, we have to actually come together and mastermind a solution instead of everybody staying in their corner.
Absolutely. It can't be everybody stay in their corner because there's going to be bare corners talking about everybody.
Yeah.
We need to come together.
Yeah, we really do.
And it's not even just like, it's not like it's just like this particular issue has a type of problem. Any group that you go into has these types of issues within a big something like this. Like this is Toronto Carnival. Hello? This is huge. How many people come? Millions of people come for this. Like you guys, to set that up is wild.
And we're almost going on 60 years. It's going 50s, going to the 57th year, but realistically,
you know what I mean? And like as
years.
much as we want to say like, okay, this is happening back home. Look how much better it is back home, guys. It's not back home.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not back home.
Yeah.
It isn't, and we can definitely try to make it like that. But it's not gonna be that.
No,
it's like the Caribbean restaurants that we're eating at. They're not gonna be like at home. Like,
I mean, they can get as close.
They can get close. Shout out to Simone's on Danforth. Shout out to Simone's on Danforth.
Because again, like I said in the first episode, like the infrastructure that we have here, whether it be like the physical infrastructure or just like the social infrastructure, is not the same that we have in the Caribbean. Like Carnival is a holiday back home,
right?
Big time.
Right.
Here, it's kind of like, okay, well, how can we block off the lakeshore? And I'm sure there's so much logistics that goes into even trying to figure out how to organize this.
Exactly.
And I think we also have to have grace for the FMC, the Festival Management Committee. Those are the ones 100%. Who like...
Because it's not even a large team either.
No, it's not. They're the ones who put on the carnival.
Right.
But understanding that there's so much that goes into all the work that they do. I don't even know half the stuff that they do. But when I went into the boardroom, all I saw all the notes and the papers and stuff. And the one thing, shout out to the FMC, the one thing that, yeah, the FMC. The one thing that they have in the boardroom that I really respected was that they had pictures of like their kids and their grandkids and this stuff. And they have that like up in the boardroom. They're saying like, that's supposed to be the reminder of why they're doing it. And I think it's important for us to remember in all the fight up and all the whatever stuff that we have to remember that we have to do our best to come together to make sure that this thing can continue to work so that our kids and grandkids have something that they can look forward to just like we did, right?
Because this is cultural. Yeah. And I think that people get so lost into it that they forget that sometimes. Like, even though this is like blatantly a cultural event, people get too lost in the, I want to look so good in my costume. I'm just mad that I'm not having a good party. But it's like, are we having a good celebration?
Yeah.
Like, shout out to the party. Obviously, the party is a celebration. But, like, are we actually celebrating what we're here to celebrate? Do people feel good here? Like, is that important?
And I wonder how, I don't know, like, just thinking about the logistics of it, like, how can we promote the educational side of it? Like, does every truck have to stop for a couple seconds, you know, like, in between like a couple of hours of DJing saying, hey, the reason why we're here today is whatever. There's everyone's already right there.
I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know what the DJs are doing. Again, I haven't been to Mass in a minute. I mean, definitely putting more emphasis on why we're here could be great. Like, you know, emancipation, 60 years. Yeah. You know, crazy. Something like so that, you know, like people, but I know people do that. Like, you know, Trinidadian stand up, Jamaican stand up, Grenadian stand up, you know, all of those things, of course. But I don't know. I guess if there was like more programming to get people to come out, not only, I know that there is so many things, obviously, but if there was some sort of fun activity that helped with education, that like maybe gave, I feel like obviously people need an incentive all the time, but like if there was maybe like contests, like who knows the best, maybe you get like a discount on a costume or something like so that. Like
cool, like an educational fun fair. It's like a family thing.
Exactly.
Like everybody come out and learn like when is Emancipation Day or like
even like carnival summer camps. Like how cool would that be? Oh my gosh,
that would be so cool. And you're making headpieces.
Yeah, like how cool would that be?
That's such a good idea.
You know what I mean? Like that would be so cool. Like again, I don't know what goes into these things. These are just ideas.
I love your ideas.
I would definitely love the emphasis of education on like why this is all happening, and not in a like I'm just trying to like teach you and just make sure you know, but like literally I want you to have fun with this education. I want you to have fun with knowing why exactly you're here.
Exactly.
And you know, so that way you could feel more connected to it too, because it's not just like, yeah, I'm jumping up, I'm Caribbean. It's like, no, like I'm feeling the fact that I'm emancipated. I'm thankful for the fact that I'm able to do this because of what's come before me.
Yeah.
And like, it's just, sometimes it's like, wow, like you see all these people out. Like the last time I did go to Lakeshore this year, but I was late. Like it was after the party, after the whole parade. But like, it is really beautiful to see everybody, all of those people, all of the flags. Like it's so beautiful. Like it's really, really nice. So I hope that like we can come to some solution that like
I'm
works for
really
everybody.
promoting again, I don't know the logistics and the back ends of the business.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Just like you don't. So we can say whatever our ideas are at any point, and if something catches, it catches.
Yeah.
T-shirt sections in every band. Please have a T-shirt section.
Please,
in
can
every
we
band.
have a T-shirt section?
Because again, when we just be real about it, there's an affordability crisis happening right now where shit's expensive.
Right.
Groceries are expensive. People's mortgages are getting refinanced or whatever the heck it is. And your mortgage is higher, your rent's higher, everything's higher. So no, maybe not everybody has, $400, $500, $350 to put down in a costume.
I don't know, maybe this is crazy, but like, can we give like maybe a couple costumes to less fortunate? Like
donation type thing?
Yeah, like a donation thing, or like if like you're buying a costume, you can choose to donate money for somebody to
That's
to
a good idea. That is a good idea.
That would be nice.
Because really, realistically, from a business side, it's kind of like, so I'm supposed to just take the loss and donate it to
no,
somebody?
I don't
you know
think
what I mean?
there's
Yeah.
not, I don't think it's like just take a loss, but it's just like, I think it would be like we were saying before, like relationships are a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe someone that doesn't have it right now might have it one day, right? And just the fact that you have given them this opportunity to play with not being able to pay. And I'm not saying give 100 people. Yeah. Even if it's one person, that's a big deal for somebody.
Yeah, it is.
I think that, one day when they make it, they'll be like, yeah, let me bring all my friends.
Yeah.
These people held me down that time that I really wanted to celebrate my culture and wasn't able to. I've never played mass maybe. And this is like it would be cool if like every section took like an application for a free costume.
That would be cool.
Something
and
like
then you
that.
have like a donor or some, but it's really just about pairing the people. Okay, like who is willing to donate and then who is in need, and then how do we determine who we select? Like, is it on a merit basis? Like, is it a draw? You know what I mean?
I think it's like maybe a lottery.
Okay, but then what if it's somebody trying to scam? Like, people always try to do some bullcrap. Like,
well, we're gonna have to figure you out. Maybe we need interviews. If you guys need me to interview, make sure people are real. I'll do it. Don't play with me.
No, but I think it's good to ideate about just different things. Because again, like you said, it's not just one problem. It's layered.
It's not one problem. 100%.
Is the festival utilizing the full capacity of the exhibition grounds and the lakeshore? 4, with the exception of an erected stage being added to the judging area, how has the festival improved the masquerader experience in the last 5 years?
I don't want to see the same costume every year. The same color grade. The same feather designs. How come I'm looking at 2004? I'm seeing the same costume 2023. I'm not saying no names. I'm not saying any names. But people want new.
You know what I want? I actually want to go back to those old style costumes. Like I was posting on my story the other day, like when you have a little bit of frontal coverage and a little, the full bra, because my breasts must be falling out. We need the full bra. But the thing is,
it would be cool for more variations.
A lot of times they do have these options, but they're just not advertised. So then people feel like there's nothing for them. This lady DM'd me the other day. She's like, yo, a lot of times I had to turn down sections and costumes that I really liked because they didn't have the right bra for me. I'm like, they usually have an option that you can get. It's just not advertised like that. Like it just might not be at the band launch. They might not have it in the pictures and stuff, but they'll normally have those other options. But I think we need to like talk about that a little bit more in terms of like
more inclusivity
and women wanting more coverage. It's not even just bigger girls that want more coverage.
Yeah, not everybody wants to skin out.
Yeah.
Like I personally love that.
Yeah.
But not everybody loves that life.
Yeah.
Like also like, yeah, like I just feel like there should definitely be more variations of every costume. There should be a variation of a wire bra that's very exposed. There should be a variation of a wire bra that's not that exposed.
But I feel like that is hectic from like a logistics point of view. Like, yo, how are we supposed to do all that? It's kind of like, hey, we have to have like a set amount of things that sometimes when people have too many choices too, it just starts getting confusing.
It can get confusing, but I feel like it can also be streamlined if the right people were organizing. Maybe people need more help. Like
I think there's an issue where we need more
definitely
help.
there needs to be more help. Like
Yeah.
it for me, from what I've worked behind the scenes, it seems like a lot of these teams are very small teams. So when introducing these questions and having these concerns, it's not even, I feel that they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They just might not have the capacity to do it.
And more
They
times the
might not
capacity
know
has
how
to do with
it.
money.
It might
More times it's really
it
more
might
times it's
just
like
be the money. Exactly.
we don't have the funding to do all the.
Exactly.
It's like we see what the issues are. We know we're very aware
We just
of what
can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some people who are not high on the priority list will get left behind.
Yeah. Or like some things. Like
Some things,
so it's like,
exactly.
yeah, maybe we do want to do X, Y, and Z, but it's like we actually need to have the funding to be able to back that. So
Right. And I know budgeting got cut this year for sure.
okay. Well, one of
Yeah.
the things that I was trying to actively do while I was the face of the festival, kind of behind the scenes, is like if I ever found any grant that I felt like maybe could be, well, obviously grants take a while to apply for and
100%.
to accept funding, but like for next year, like, hey, I found this grant, like send this over to whoever you guys have that helps with grants and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think we all have to do our part to make sure that whatever needs to happen happens. And especially in regards to funding, like if anyone knows of any grants or maybe like any connections with businesses and stuff so that we can keep our carnival going. So Raw represents for the queer community big
Alphabet
time.
Mafia, you already know.
She represents for the queer community big time. And I remember when you were doing my makeup, you were teaching me a lot about like ballroom. And I had no idea. I'm like, oh, is that like when you go to a dance? You're like, girl, no, I walk body. Some people walk face. So basically, can you explain a little bit what ballroom is? So for people who are listening who don't know.
All right. I hope I don't embarrass my parents. But ballroom is pretty much like, I want to say it's like a spectacular queer pageant.
Yeah.
Like you get trophies, it's a very empowering place, I feel. I loved ballroom because it was very Black. I hadn't been in queer spaces that were majority Black, like how ballroom is. Like ballroom, I feel like a majority, you know? And it was like a space that I seen like a lot of queer Black people specifically just like free up themselves.
Yeah.
Like it was very, I just remember the first balls that I was going to, I was just like, wow, like how's this the first time I'm here? Like this is so crazy. And yeah, like it's pretty much, there's a lot of different categories. It's like mostly known for Vogue, the dancing style of dance. Shout out to House of Siriano, you already know. But yeah, there's a bunch of different houses, which are basically essentially different families within the scene. They teach you, they mentor you, they teach you how to dance, they teach you how to showcase your, like my category is body, like how to showcase my body, how to walk, how to, like just how to present yourself and like showcase yourself, whatever it is that you have, whether it's your body, whether it's your face, whether it's your fashion, whether it's your voice, because there's like a commentating aspect of it as well. There's so many different categories that like anybody could fit into. And we even had there was actually a Caravana themed ball.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was like really cool. I forget what the categories were, but like there are so many Caribbean people in ballroom. There are so many Caribbean people that are queer, and like being somebody who's in both realms, the people in ballroom would mash up Caravana, mash up mass, period. And like, I just feel like I would love to see, like, I would love to help bridge the gap between our communities, because it's like we belong to this community just as much, right?
I feel like the one, like I remember last year specifically, there was a section in the band that I played with, and I guess that was like the, I don't know, like the gay guys section or whatever. Yo, those guys were going off and they looked damn good.
Right.
But I just, like, again, we're celebrating our emancipation and there's all of us are different.
Right.
So it's kind of like, hey, this is our time for all of us to come together.
All of us have
and
been
I
emancipated.
like to see it in their big backpacks and thing, and they
Right.
walking up themselves. And
Walking
it's like,
up themselves.
but it's like, enjoy yourself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because even in Grenada for Spice Mass, like, that's always what I refer back to. But it's like, I remember being in Juve and seeing, it's actually illegal, which I learned later on, seeing men in thongs.
Really?
Yeah, they're in thongs and they're jabbed up. They're black. They have on a wig, but like there are men in dresses. But you see that thing at carnival time because everybody knows that's our time to free up. And so whoever you are, come as you are, or come in a costume or as a character.
Exactly.
But like, come and free up yourself, you know, and that looks different for everyone. And so I think it's important for all people to know that like they're welcome, you know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
especially in regards to like queer people, like you guys can come in and free up too.
100%. And like the thing is, like, for people like myself, I could definitely free up myself easily. You know what I mean? I could show up in a place and look super feminine and maybe nobody knows I'm gay. But then there's people like trans women or gay guys who are not what a lot of people want to see, especially within the Caribbean community. So it's like they really have to think about their safety a lot more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Than a lot of us, right? So it's like I would love to see the involvement and like just see people like, we don't need you to hug us up.
Yeah.
We just need you to be able to free yourself while we're freeing ourselves beside you and not bother us. And maybe even turn and like smile at me. You know what I mean? Like, you see me having fun, you having fun. Like, let's just get in that vibe, like where we don't have to feel like, oh, I can't even be around that. Because it's like there's so many people that we invite into our spaces that are Caribbean, but then there's people like, and it's not only queer people, it could be disabled people, it could be many different people.
I saw a guy in a wheelchair this year. I was really shocked by it. He was just holding onto the truck.
Period, because he like, also wants to walk up himself
and celebrate his emancipation.
Wheelchair or not, I'm walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so I just think that there should definitely be like, nobody's asking you to necessarily change your views, because I absolutely want you to. But nobody wants to force anybody into that kind of discomfort. Everybody just wants you to be like okay with the fact that people are different, and people also want to have fun and enjoy themselves too here, without feeling like they could be harmed, or feeling like they might be laughed at, or feeling like they might be like just a victim of some sort of thing that's happened because of so many things that have happened with them. Also considering that a lot of us have also been ostracized from our Caribbean families, which has also made it hard for a lot of us to connect to our Caribbean ancestry. Like, you know what I mean? There's that disconnect. Like, I've been abandoned by my family that is Caribbean, or let's say my family Trinidadian, right? The connection that I have with Trinidad is much less because of that. And so many people experience that too. So like Caribana, I know that for myself, as well as so many other queer people, they want to be involved. They want to feel like this is the one thing that I know is like for sure Caribbean, and I know that I could participate in this and feel like I'm celebrating that. But they're hesitant because of those things, the homophobia, that like people might not even think they're homophobic, but then as soon as you're around somebody who might be queer, it comes out, babe. Like the discomfort, like worrying about, oh, who is this person so close to me, little things like that. And it's like, no one's even worried about you. They don't even realize you're there, babe. They're just enjoying themselves. But there's been so many times where people want to, like, for example, like, I want to go to like a dance hall party. Like, so many queer people want to go to a dance hall party.
Yeah.
What are we doing there? You know what I mean? And it's like, we listen to those types of songs too. We love those types of songs, even down to what's it called? All the big time homophobic Caribbean songs that we.
I seen this one guy on TikTok. The way how he sings out those lyrics.
The way the queer people sing out those lyrics.
It's actually really funny.
It's like, it's funny because it's also like some queer people, of course, don't like it. Yeah. But a lot of, like myself included, like screaming those things when you know that you're existing. Yeah. It's so funny. Like, and it's kind of
almost like ironic.
It's ironic, and it's kind of like the way that I'm enjoying this song is kind of like a fuck you to the message. You know what I mean? And like I would just love to see it no longer be an issue, and like just that all Caribbean people can be together, no matter of our differences. Like that would just be great.
And then even in terms of safe spaces, but I don't know if that would be like an issue of division. One of the things that I've been thinking about is really having, and again, this is really just about the people who are going to put it on. Personally, I know I have no intention of having a mass band or even really a section at this point in my life. But like sections that cater to different people. But what I was saying in my interview with Candace, again, shout out to Candace, was that people like when you speak directly to them. So I was like, if there's a band that's for big girls, and all of our costumes fit the body nice or whatever, or if there's a band, this is like the pride band, like come and represent, like in terms of safety and stuff, like, yo, I know I play with that band because that's for me, that's for all of us to come and free up ourselves no matter what, and we know we're safe in that band. You know what I mean? Because
some sections, it's like they might tell themselves, well, we're down if you want to play with us, but sometimes people need to be told like you are down. Like I need to know that you're saying, yeah, I will be safe within your group. Like some people definitely need that to have that call out for sure, because they're really unsure about these things. And like I don't even think it's not even just a queer people problem. It's just it's a problem with anybody who's not just the same, you know, like just a little bit different. Imagine how sick it would be for wheelchair costumes.
A section would just, that would be so cool.
Are you dumb? Imagine feathers on the wheels, like, hello?
Yo, that would be so... And I think that's why it's important to think about inclusivity. I know sometimes people don't want to consider these things, but it's like, there's a lot of people who exist in different ways than you and I do. And so it's kind of like, how can we acknowledge that?
You might not exist like this your whole life.
Yeah, that's true. Because one girl that I met at an influencer event when I was trying to learn more about it, before she was in a wheelchair, she was able-bodied. So now she's disabled after a gymnastics accident, but now she knows what it's like to be able-bodied and to be disabled. So she's kind of like, I have an understanding, but it's like I didn't live my whole life in a wheelchair.
You know what that makes me think? Even there should be like a lane for them,
like a lane for like wheelchairs and stuff.
Yeah, so like they can also be along the road.
Because one of the things that's hard to even maneuver as an able-bodied person, like throughout the band.
But you know how like there's like a bike lane. There should be like a lane for them to go into. Like if I want to go and dance with somebody who might not be able to come on the regular road.
I think that's one of my favorite videos when you see those girls winding up on mans in wheelchairs. Yes. These guys are so giddy, and I love that for them. Absolutely,
because what? You even have a chair to support?
Exactly.
Imagine the wine you're getting. What? Like, yo, I'm telling you, they're getting the best wines.
Yeah, they are.
They're getting the
They
best
know they're
wines.
ready for a road on that day. They're like, yo.
Big time stabilization.
It's my time.
Yes, stable
Don't
wine.
kill me. But yeah, especially in terms of talking about like queer people and feeling like being able to participate in mass, like we really need to ask ourselves, like, is it a safe space for them too?
Yeah, and like, yo, nobody's trying to make it into the queer Toronto Carnival. No one's trying to do that.
I think that's what happens. People start thinking that like, they're going to try to take over our thing.
No, like, fam, we're not trying to take over. Like, we're not trying to. First of all, we're dominating anyway. But we're not trying to take it over like on like a serious level. Like, we're actually not trying to take it over. We just want to be included.
Yeah.
And of course, nobody's saying you guys can't be included. But there's those underlining things that have people feeling unsafe. And some people can look past it because maybe you don't have queer people in your life. It's not a problem that you think of. And you might be just defensive just because of years of having the thoughts that you have, which is fine. Like, I completely understand being around Caribbean people, growing up with Caribbean people and them having certain thoughts and knowing like they're not coming out of these thoughts. You know what I mean? Sure. But at some point you just have to think like, why am I not focused on myself?
Yeah.
Like what?
And that's what my grandmother was saying the other day too. You're not even being
selfish right now. You're not even being selfish right now. Because if you were being selfish, you would not be paying my gay ass any mind.
Yeah.
You'd be worried about the gal in front of you waiting for a bubble.
Yeah.
You would not be worried about nothing else. And yeah, we just want it to be like, it's giving all Caribbean lives matter. Like, it's really giving that. And that's really...
No, you actually killed me.
Yo! No, but
the
facts.
way how I saw the sign in your hand.
Like, facts. Like, for real. Like, people just want to, like... And, you know, I feel like I heard something about somebody saying, like... Somebody said something about... because I remember, I forget what they said, but they said something talking about like gay guys and like feeling like they had nobody to dance with. And I don't think that's a gay guy's problem. I think that's a man not wanting to dance problem.
What do you mean?
Like, I think that what they were trying to say is like they just seen so many queer guys in Caravana and like they didn't feel like they had a lot of people to dance
Like
with.
no women?
Like,
wait, so
I don't know if
was it like a straight person saying there's so much?
I think they're not straight, but they're not like, I don't think they're like, they're not straight.
So what, that person felt like there was no one for them,
and I think she wanted more straight men to dance with, and I feel like she didn't feel like there was enough straight men around her to dance with. I'm not exactly sure of her view, but I was just confused because I just feel like.
But people dance. I'm sorry, I've seen girls dance with gay guys all the time.
This is what I'm saying. Like, just because a man's gay doesn't mean he's not gonna give you the wickedest bubble of your life. Like, what? You will get the wickedest bubble of your life from a gay man. Don't get it twisted. If anything, that will probably be the best wine in your life.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I remember this year when I was on the road and there's this one guy that was whining up himself. I was like, you know what? I started just yelling to him. I'm like, you win. You win. It's okay. Like, I was trying to do a 1-2. I'm like, never mind. You win. You win, honey. The way the drop down to the ground, come back. I'm like, you win.
Drop down to the ground.
You win.
Hello?
You win.
Thank you. I'm actually taking notes.
But you know, I like to see it. Like, I like to, when I saw the guy in the wheelchair last year, he wasn't in costume, but like seeing him just holding onto the truck, and like I took a video of him. I'm like, this is so cool. Like, yeah, come free up yourself too. Come and enjoy the music
I want to
too.
see everybody freeing up themselves.
Yeah, shout out to Toronto Revelers. I saw that they did like a short clip. This was before Kitty's Carnival, and they had like this girl, and it was a young girl and a guy, and they both looked like they were disabled. I think the girl was in like a wheelchair or something like that, or like they were holding her up, and she was like jumping and stuff, you know. And it's just so exciting to see that again. Like, this carnival is for all of us in all of the ways that we exist, you know.
It's for the baddies, it's for the nerds, it's for the hotties, it's for the curvy girls, it's for the flat body gals, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
Box shape, curve shape, triangle shape, apple shape, pear shape, all shapes.
I feel like sometimes we get caught up in the optics of it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's what I was talking to David about in the first episode, where it's kind of like, it's not even about that though. Like, when we take in what it's really about, we can recognize that all of us can come and participate in this thing. And then that does extend into the conversation about like the quote unquote stormers, and like, okay, well, how can we allow them to participate in this thing as well? Realistically, the other argument is that, oh, well, they need to put on a costume. You guys, costumes are not cheap.
Guys,
personally, I love to play a backline because I can't take on the feathers. But yo, I'm not interested in paying $400 for a costume.
Two friends that played backline this year, won't say no names on who with.
Yeah.
But when they told me the cost, I said absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because if I even start paying that type of money for it, I might as well play front line. Yeah. If I'm gonna spend a lot of money, I might as well just spend more money and get the front line. What am I doing?
Yeah.
With that little dibby bikini. What am I doing with that? No. We're not gonna act like costumes are just $2.
Yeah, and that, I think that's part of the issue too, where it's kind of like, oh well, get in a section and get a costume, and it's kind of like, hey guys, like, again, like, things are not cheap right now. There's stuff going on with inflation. There's things going on with the cost of living in general. It's kind of like, yo, people don't necessarily have the disposable income to dash out a few $100.
A value mass. You know how there's value meals?
Yeah.
There needs to be a value mass.
Like,
there needs to be a section for the people that can't do the big.
Bro.
And of course,
a cheaper. Yeah.
Like, give me a little cheap version now.
Yeah.
Give me a little. You don't have to use the same materials. You can use a little elastic band material.
No, but listen, I'm gonna keep promoting t-shirt masks, cause guy,
t-shirt mask. Yo, give me a t-shirt.
Yo, the way and you know how you always do your t-shirt cut up sexy.
Give me a t-shirt.
T-shirt. What? I would. Personally, I'm telling you right now, I would play masks in a t-shirt.
I will cut up your t-shirt.
I know. Listen, feathers and costumes and stuff are incredible. They look beautiful, but again, we need to think about how can we include everyone, like, and in terms of affordability.
And imagine also, like, what if I just wanted a headpiece? I should be able to just buy a headpiece.
You know, yeah.
I should be able to just buy a headpiece and boom, that's me in the mass.
But then the only thing is they probably wouldn't let you cross the stage.
Okay, facts. Honestly, my ideas are just popping out. Sorry, I forgot about the reasoning. Sorry,
they wouldn't let you cross the stage. But I'm gonna big up the t-shirt section, because what if you even? I wonder if I'm not sure if a t-shirt section could cross the stage, because again, I'm new to understanding like the back end and like the logistics of like carnival.
But I mean,
stuff.
if the people that play pan have t-shirts that they could buy,
but I don't know if they cross the stage.
But maybe we don't need to cross the stage. Maybe Maybe we just want to be in the mass.
Nobody, a lot of people
care about the stage.
The stage crossing is like the business side of it. Like the road is like the masquerader. Like free up.
Maybe if you're in a t-shirt, you stay off the stage and you hype up the people.
Nice.
You are there to hype up. You're not playing. You don't have the money for the thing. That's fine. But you will give your energy to the people who are playing.
And just walk around the side.
And walk around the side and big up everybody. Give up the energy. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, honestly, again, for like the 10th time, t-shirt section. We need
t-shirt section.
We need t-shirt in every band.
If you need us in the boardroom for ideas, we have that. Of course, we don't know the logistics. That's why we need you guys. But if you need the ideas to help with solutions, my brain is on.
This girl kills me. But I always say that like we need like the young people and the older people to come together. And then even talking to you now, just thinking about the ways that we need people who exist on like different like ways need to come together to be able to put input too. Like, hey, like, well, we need to have something for like disabled people. And then I know some people say, well, if we start including all this stuff, then we're gonna no, but it's kind of like, hey, we're already here.
And if we started it should be, I feel, if we started to include these things, what more can we do to make sure we're able to include these things? Let's figure out what else we need to do to include these things. Let's figure out what help we need to be able to do these things.
That's the biggest thing.
Obviously, you guys don't have the capacity to do it, because why wouldn't you if you did? You don't have the capacity. What are the solutions?
So just going off that, and I think we can just wrap it up here, but like, this is just a call out to, you know, the FMC, the Festival Management Committee, and just anyone who's really involved in the space. It's like, what help do you need from the community? Like, we're here. We want to see this thing.
What help do you guys need from the community?
Yeah.
Because the community wants to be involved. And if being involved means we need to help, we need to know what kind of help we need to give.
And we want to see this thing succeed at the end of the day.
Do we need to protest?
Nobody wants to see our carnival die. Nobody wants to see it not exist anymore. So it's kind of like, okay, well, we obviously need to rally together.
Right.
So what would that look like? You know?
What would it look like?
And then in terms of people being able to find you, let's say they want to book you for, you know, their carnival makeup, Caravana makeup, or any other stuff. Sorry, Toronto Carnival makeup. If they want to book you for this, Toronto Carnival makeup. You can book me for
whatever carnival you want. You could fly me out. That's up to you. Any carnival you want. I don't care where it is. I could be there.
I'm telling you, no, but on a serious note, I'm telling you right now, Ra is a very, very, very talented makeup artist. When I saw how those pictures came out, I was like, wow. When I first, honestly, because I'm not used to wearing makeup, when I looked at my face at first, I was like,
yeah, it's a shocker.
I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And then when we took the pictures and I started seeing, I'm like, this is beautiful. My mom was like, you look so beautiful.
Shout out to mom.
But yeah, like if people want to connect with you, where can they find you?
You can find me on any platform by Rahsthetics. That's RAHSTHETICS. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, www.rahsthetics.com. That's my website. You could book there as well. Yeah. IMDb. That's my first and last, the Govey, Renell Branton. But
because Renell does a lot of work on like film sets and stuff like that, so that's why you have the IMDb.
Yes,
page.
I have a lot of film work, so they wrote me in there. Big IMDb. But yeah.
So she's big time, man. I know she's talking, you know, the regular Toronto accent or whatever, but
really
she's big time.
Professional businesswoman.
No, she really is.
I'm just a laid back Sag. But yeah, no, seriously, you could actually reach me on any platform, my website, and I'm always down to work. So
yeah,
no matter where you are, we can get it arranged.